All right, it's Wednesday, September 25th. Just wanted to follow up on the SPY, kind of a morning update here. You can see it is continuing lower a little bit. I discussed how I bought some puts here on this red bar, and in a minute I'll review why it could be a potential failure unfolding, but I'm still not sure yet. And this is one of those things where you have to kind of judge the context. Bought the 576 puts at 519. You can see they're up to like 558 right now. So at this point, if we can't get follow through, I would do no worse than break even. I want to see if it continues lower. It's kind of grinding its way down, but finding buying with each successive move lower. So, you don't know for sure, but you did to kind of expect it would take out the lows of the day for the people who got trapped at the open and had the potential to head down here to the pre-market lows. We'll see if it gets there. We'll see if this becomes the high of the day. What's unfolding here is a compound move to try to broaden out above that bar. You had the 2 down, 2 up starting the week. Then it followed through a little bit yesterday, and it followed through a little bit today. But in 3 days, we can't hit our target, and that could be an interesting failure back down to start hitting some other lower targets if you fail to reach your upper target. So that's why it looked interesting to me, given this opening price action that had the first bar move up above the pre-market highs, inside bar, 2 up to take out that first bar high, and then immediately 2 down. So there was kind of a strat 15-minute sell signal here that coincided with a potential failure unfolding. But right now, since you took out the high the previous day, you got to get below the midpoint of that day. That can then project to new lows, and that could eventually, turn this weekly chart maybe down. Although we're not there yet either. We're still green heading into next week. From this week heading into this week, and you expect kind of to follow through a little bit higher. But at the moment, we're still kind of not hit. We haven't hit the high of last week, and we're not below the open to turn it red either. So that's why it's a very tricky kind of environment at the moment. But what's interesting to me on the daily chart is we're grinding up here. It should have, within 1 or 2 bars, gotten to that high after this 2-up day, and we're not doing that. So you can see the potential failure developing today, even though some of the weekly chart's still green, and, we're not below the midpoint of the prior day yet. So anyway, just wanted to follow up at this point, just given that you're watching it all morning. If it builds up a little momentum, maybe we take out the, pre-market lows, we take out the midpoint of that bar, we get a whole, higher highs, lower lows, negative kind of turn on the week, and head a lot lower. So right now, at no risk, I think you can watch it. If price action wants to start really building up to downside, great. And if not, do no worse than break even. That's kind of how I'm looking at it, kind of watching the SPY. But at least I know the context of what has to happen to reverse this to the downside. And on the weekly chart, we still have a few days to go. You got to get kind of an inside red week that might want to head lower into next week. It doesn't look like there's enough time to get a 2 down week developing, and it still is green. So any fake moves, that don't really continue lower could be good buy signals as well coming up. But for now, opening price structure was to the downside. Just thought I'd follow up mid-morning what's kind of unfolding and how to look at some of the various levels.